Welcome to episode 34 of Lost Signals. My name is Daryl.
I'm JD.
It's 11 o'clock on a Sunday night, my time. This is
And 9 o'clock BC time.
it's way later than we end up doing these shows. So this might be a little interesting because I've been off work since 6:30 and I've had a couple beers. So
So you're saying I'm late to the party? Is what you're saying?
You have to work tomorrow, don't you?
I do, but I work like at 1 o'clock. So
well, you could
like,
have a beer too. I mean, fucking have a beer.
I don't have any beer. I have Caesars and I have vodka.
Well, I don't know why you didn't grab one before we
Well,
started
because
this. I mean,
just before you hit go, you're like, oh fuck it, let's hit it. The sooner the better, right?
well, take the 3 seconds, go grab a drink.
Fine, God.
And fine. I'll entertain the people. It's one of those nights, right? Like we're just gonna have
grabbing a Caesar from the fridge.
See, it took you 3 seconds.
Jesus.
It took you 3 seconds to go get that drink, and I was just gonna, regale our audience with some funny stories while you went and got it, but apparently I didn't have to. So, see, we're all good.
My fridge is right there, so it's not like I'm going far.
And mine is right there. I know you can't see me right now, but. So, fun story. I switched broadcasting stuff and recording stuff, so now JD can't see me. We're doing a test run for this week, and we're going to see how it works.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know.
Well, I currently have the stream up now, and for anyone who is unaware, we stream live on Twitch whenever we record these episodes.
Well,
and so if you subscribe to or follow Lost_Signals on Twitch, then you'll actually get a notification of when we go live, and you can actually be a part of the episode, as it were. So
this is true.
Yeah.
And that's if I remember to update the description and all of that shit. But yeah.
Are you saying this is not episode 34?
This is definitely episode 34. And holy shit, you had bottled Caesars? I haven't seen those in forever.
Really? Because they're in like the local liquor store all the time.
You might want to check the date on them because Jesus Christ, all I see of those is cans now, and they're great, by the way. But that's a whole other ball of wax.
No. June, I'm good.
June.
It's March.
It's like 9.5. It's vodka and clam, and it's not going to go bad. I mean,
it's vodka, clam, and hot sauce. So.
Oh well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So this is technically our 1-year anniversary show. Yay!
Hey!
Yeah, I don't know. Normally, like you'd have some flourish or some fanfare or whatever, but no, we've been doing this for a year now.
Yeah, it's hard to actually believe. Also, the math doesn't check out. Episode 34, there's 52 weeks in the year. So even if we did it every second week, that'd be 25. How'd we get to 34? Yeah, our schedule is fluid.
Yeah. It doesn't work out all the time. So that's why we sometimes have 2 episodes 1 week and no episodes for 2 weeks. It's like it's been a couple of weeks since we did this again, and it'll be maybe a week again until we do it again. I don't fucking know. It's like it's whatever, man. It's like
what we do know is that the listenership is growing, and I really do appreciate everyone listening and
absolutely
what feedback and
yeah. No, like
hi Tyler.
And the funny thing is like I actually a couple weeks ago, like my uncle passed away a couple weeks ago, and was at the family function afterwards, and we had all had some drinks because that's what families do when you lose a family member. You have some drinks. One of my cousins, she's in her 50s. She's like, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, what? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And she's like,
no one's supposed to know.
Yeah. No, and she was like, no, like, she lives north of Prince Albert, and like she'll be like, oh, I'm driving to Prince Albert today, so she'll listen to an episode or two. It's like a hi Elaine,
Oh.
Thanks for listening. I
Hi,
really
Elaine.
I appreciate it. Actually, she grew up in the Lower Mainland, so
Oh, jeez.
yeah, that's a whole other story that we will not get into. But
Okay. Fair enough.
but no, like a year now, you know, like we like 32, 34 episodes. This is 34. We have one short out that you've done. We have another one that I haven't put out yet because I forgot to, because I'm forgetful sometimes.
Because you're a busy boy.
Yeah. But no, like honestly, like I'm enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah.
I have it's all a learning experience for me. Like it's a big trying to figure this shit out, and
Yeah.
no, I'm enjoying it. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the first call it not the first season, because I'm not calling these seasons at all, but I mean, like what are your takes on the first year of the Lost Signals podcast?
Well, so in my history of working in media and hosting different shows and whatnot, the first couple of episodes are always kind of the testing grounds. You know, trying to find a rhythm, trying to find chemistry, trying to find some sort of flow or a structure. And we eventually found now, you know, a little bit of banter to begin with, and did we get into some topics that we have maybe even hinted on throughout the week and back and forth, and then we wrap up the show with a good, lighthearted, and interactive feature of what are you spinning? And it took us like episode 5, 6 to get to that point, and I think since then, like it's gotten more relaxed, a lot more fun, a little bit more polish, and like you've been able to rope in some incredible guests. And so, like moving forward, I'm really excited to see not only what comes of our show, your show, and what guests we will have on, but also like the growing of our listenership and our community and our feedback. So also, like, you know, we're getting closer and closer to potential merch as well. It was a couple of ideas were already been thrown around, and I saw, I think it was Tyler took witness of my old radio show mug and is like, "Oh, dude, I want one." So that's exciting. That shows growth and stability within a project, and that's the sort of thing that I like to see when taking on something new. If you're not learning anything, if you're not growing, if there's no formula being built as you move forward, then like you don't achieve anything. You don't learn anything, right?
Yeah.
So,
And actually, like, full disclosure, I never thought we were gonna get this far. I thought I was gonna get like 5 episodes in and like I'm gonna get bored and shit. But actually, no, I'm enjoying doing the show. Like I like it. You know, like we get to sit down once every week or every couple weeks or whatever. Not that we don't talk in the meantime, but it's just like we get to sit down. There's a bunch of shit we can talk about that we can put out to other people, and so other people can hear our dumb conversations.
yeah.
Really.
And for like at the very beginning, you were expressing concern as to whether or not I was going to be able to dedicate time and energy to this project. And I've found, and it's solidified my thoughts from back then, that this show fills the void of something that I had been lacking since my old radio show had been shut down.
Yeah.
My old radio show consisted of 3 different things. I had the music aspect, I had guests, and then I had banter. Now, I have a radio show on mainstream media, and I have guests on a regular basis on my own show, but I didn't have any banter with like a common or a regular co-host, and that's the one thing I was lacking. And so Lost Signals, so Lost Signals, the podcast, the show it's the trifecta that I was missing from my old radio show.
That's good. No, I'm glad that we filled that void that you had. I mean, it's just again, like I remember our technically first show that we ever did, and it was I was drunk one night and we were streaming Grand Theft Auto 5,
Yeah.
and it ended up being I to people that don't play Grand Theft Auto 5, I stole a jet and I was flying around, just flying around for the hell of it. And you and I
Yeah.
ended up talking about religion and politics for an hour.
The building blocks of any good communication.
Exactly, yeah. And I have that stream someplace on my PC yet. So
Yeah.
maybe we can do that like it's the
A throwback.
Lost Signals episode 0.5 or some shit. I'll put it up on YouTube or something. But it's just But no, like we I don't know. I guess some people have asked like how we actually met. I mean, it's like we met playing video games.
Yeah.
That's it. That's yeah. We met playing like GTA, and we talked about the bog stuff before, and I don't want to get into that stuff again. But it's just that's how it happened. Sometimes.
Yep.
So we had a good rapport together, and I can talk out of my ass sometimes, and I spend good money on microphones, and that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was GTA and Sea of Thieves, and
Yeah.
I think there was I think it was DCS. I don't know if I
Yeah,
played
no,
that with
no,
you. No?
No, never
Okay,
played that
maybe
game.
not. Well, regardless, yeah, it was gaming that brought us together,
Yeah.
and it's bullshit that keeps us together.
Exactly. Speaking of Sea of Thieves, I'd like to get back into the game.
Really?
Yeah. I always had a fun time playing that game. Like, I mean, why wouldn't you like fucking playing like a pirate? Like.
No, and quite frankly, like for the game upon its release, it looks stunning.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it has the best water graphics of any game I've ever seen, right out the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that game.
So
Love it.
that's
Love it.
awesome game.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So back to whatever. I mean, like we're definitely appreciative of the people that listen and watch and whatever and tune in and like listen to our dumb shit and like on our. I mean, technically our 1 year was 3 days ago. That's when episode 1 dropped. And now we're on
March 3rd.
March 3rd, yeah. Now we're on 34. And yeah. No, again, like we appreciate you guys, and we're not going anywhere and just going to go up from here. I mean, I have nowhere else to go, so.
I have nowhere else to go.
There's always dumb shit I can talk about, so.
Need I remind you, and this is the conversation that you and I had earlier when we were talking about interviewing big stars and big bands like Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're hanging with me. That makes you media. That gives us a little bit more carte blanche on opportunities.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. It is what it is, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward, expect more of the same styles of the regular shows where it's JD and I, and I have a bunch of more interviews lined up. The girl, or the not girl, I mean the woman referee from the Olympics that got smacked in the face.
Yeah.
and
Oh
got-
man, she took like a champ.
Yeah. So yeah, she got smacked in the face by a stick. She's from my hometown, so she's gonna be on the show coming up, hopefully in the next. I don't know. I actually messaged her earlier, and no, nothing yet, but just
Every time.
Yeah, and who else is there? No, my published author of she writes novels for like say like middle school people.
Mm.
And I've actually read both of her books, and I was actually pretty intrigued by both of them.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was an interesting concept. And my only complaint to her, and I'll bring it up in the interview with her, is like that I wish they were longer. 'Cause, like,
Oh,
yeah. And there's some other stuff coming up. I mean, I'm gonna revisit some stuff with some older guests. I'm gonna re-interview Andrew Abbott again at some point, and with Whitney again, because Whitney was a great interview, and Chris, actually. I think Chris Klein and I we're gonna try and sit down one day at one of the breweries in Saskatoon and have beers and interview.
sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's us moving forward.
Yes.
Let's go to today.
Sure.
It's been an interesting week and a half for I think everybody in the world, I guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like COVID is over. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore. That's like all of that is on the back burner.
Yeah.
And we're
it's been about 2 years, and those who range from anti-vax, anti-mask, all the way up to fully vaxxed, boosted, and masks. Everyone is pretty much along on the same boat, saying like, yeah, we're done. We've done all we can. We've done what we could for ourselves and our families. There are options out there for those who want to take it. Let's move forward.
Yeah. And that's not even that's not even the point I was getting to with this. I mean, and I do agree with your statements. Everybody's in the same boat. Let's just let's just open everything up and, whatever. Put more money into the healthcare system. Everybody will just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I know where I live in Saskatchewan, everything's wide open right now.
Yeah.
It's game on.
Anyway, it's getting there. It's getting there in British Columbia.
Yeah. It's good. The reason why I had said what I originally did, though, is that nobody cares about that sort of shit anymore because there's a full-on fucking war going on right now, and we're not. It's not that we're in the middle of it, but we definitely could be.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about where you grew up. Actually, I know about where you grew up. It's definitely not like where I did.
Right.
I grew up and live in a town of 800 people. Half of the population. Okay, so say 45% of the population was German, 45% of the population was Ukrainian, 10% was miscellaneous. So like I grew up around Ukrainian people. I'm German, like German and Hungarian, whatever, doesn't matter. But to see this bullshit that's going on over there right now is like appalling. I don't even know what to think anymore. Like it's disgusting.
It's a mixture of things, quite frankly, and it's interesting to see and theorize how we have gotten to this point. Now, your background, as you stated, my background is French, English, and Native. I have oppressed myself in the past, apparently, and there's a portion of me that is just flat out given up. But that's the French side.
Also, you like your liquor but can't handle it.
That's me to a T, isn't it? So anyway, growing up in the Lower Mainland, like very eclectic, like there people from all walks of life and different cultures were there, and so like growing up there as well as spending the time that I have in the military, this is just a mixed bag of emotions for me because like no one likes war, and how this came to be is appalling. The misinformation and communication breakdown is horrific and hilarious at the same time, and the losses and victories that are happening right now in Ukraine are again horrific and hilarious at the same time.
I saw a video yesterday. I can't remember if it was on Instagram or wherever the hell
Yeah.
it was, but it was 3 people or 4 people in a shitbox car that had a Molotov cocktail. They were driving by an armored tank or an armored personnel carrier.
Yeah.
They fucking threw this like Molotov cocktail on it. It's straight up fucking like Grand Theft Auto, man. Like the girl, like I'm sure it was a girl sitting in the front seat of the car. Like she ended up on fire because like the gas or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it splattered on her. They put it out, whatever. It's like, but that's straight up vigilantism. Like that's no. That's not the right word. I retract that. Like that's straight up standing for your country.
Oh yeah. That is front lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember like it was early this week or this past week. You sent me something.
Yeah.
There was some liquor company in
Ukraine.
Yeah, that switched over from making vodka to making fucking Molotov cocktails.
Just firing them out the door.
It's like, here you go. Here's this fucking like high proof liquor.
Yeah.
Go fight some Russians. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck. Great. I'm very proud of those people. And I honestly don't know what I could do to help these people besides giving money.
Yeah.
Like support is one thing, but I'm not going to be the asshole that goes out there and change my Facebook profile with the Ukrainian flag, because that doesn't change anything. It doesn't do anything. It's I'm trying to think of the right thing to say about I know why these people do that sort of thing.
Yes.
But
it is okay. So and I don't mean this in an insulting way, but it is the bare minimum that people can do is to show their support on the platform where they feel as though they have the loudest voice, which is social media. And that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even on TikTok. Like, I get that. I understand that. Your heart's in the right place. No harm, no foul, no big deal.
Yeah.
Much like you, like I have a hard time doing that sort of thing because I know the ineffectiveness of that. And I feel as though that I would do better through other ventures and other tools. I see social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the like as an opportunity to share other people's messages. It is a tool for me to make contacts and get other people's words out there.
Yeah.
And I take it upon myself to say something. I try to be across the board as possible because that's just how I conduct myself on social media. And the fight in these people and what they're up against is mathematically impossible. We're talking about a regime by a totalitarian dictator, Vladimir Putin, who is out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And possibly people have been looking into this and probably looking a little too hard, but people have been looking into this and saying that the way he holds himself and some of the movements that he makes and how he speaks, it shows signs that possibly he had a stroke and is possibly suffering from dementia. Again, take this all with a grain of salt, whatever. The point is that this heavily armored, militarized unit is trying to go into Ukraine and take it over. Let's they're not going to get rid of Nazis. Bullshit.
They're trying to re-Nazify fucking.
Oh yeah,
that's
pretty
exactly
much.
what it is. Yeah.
But they're sending tanks and jets and helicopters and personnel carriers and all that stuff, and they're being decimated by people flying Molotov cocktails.
I read something today that there's an old Ukrainian woman that took down a Russian drone with a jar of pickles.
Yeah. like, how is this happening? But you look further into it, and first of all, Molotov cocktails extremely and scary effective because okay, so gasoline and broken glass on fire on a personnel carrier, no big deal. But gasoline lit on fire onto the intake of a personnel carrier, you're now choking out the people on the inside of that thing. On top of that, like if you get any sort of windscreen or view vent or anything like that, you're now like you're blinding them.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Molotov cocktails, like all things considered, very effective. And now like there's videos and Instagram and whatnot of people on the ground with Stinger ground to air missiles wiping out jets and helicopters and RPGs taking out tanks. And it's just like, how? What the fuck? Like,
what about the balls of the I can't pronounce his name, but like, what about the balls of the Ukrainian president?
Yeah,
like that dude. I mean, like he's mid 40s, maybe early 50s. Like he's got 2 young kids.
Yeah,
and like Putin said, like, we're gonna get rid of the Nazis in the Ukraine. And first off, like their president is Jewish, so that doesn't make any sense.
No.
And when the United States asked the president, again, I can't pronounce his name. It's like, do you want to ride out of here? It's like, I don't need a ride. I need fucking ammunition.
Yeah, I know.
Like the dude is on the steps of their parliament or whatever it's called there, or Congress or whatever. He's like wearing like a fucking like bulletproof vest. It's like, come at me, bro. Like, like,
holy shit.
Like good on that. Like good on them. You know, like protect what's supposed to be yours. Like, and I back the Ukrainian people 100% because I know Putin's a fucking crazy motherfucker. And if they ever see this YouTube video, I guess we're gonna have hits against us. But whatever, you know.
Yeah. What do you mean? If they're never gonna see it, the amount of controlled, media that's in Russia is insane.
They just shut down every like non-government sanctioned news outlet in Russia. So that'd be like shutting down CTV, Global, and
CBC.
No, CBC's government run still, government funded anyways. But yeah, like there's a lot of shit that'd be shut down. So
yeah. Furthermore, the hacker group Anonymous has actually taken over 3 of the government Russian channels and has started airing as much as possible on a constant loop of footage of what is actually going on in the Ukraine with the message of Vladimir Putin is the oppressor. Vladimir Putin is the aggressor. Just like the amount of just insanity that's going on right now. Like there's things in there that are playing out like a goddamn video game from the 90s.
Yeah.
And other things that just don't make any bloody sense whatsoever. The president of Ukraine, a quick backstory on him, was a comedian and an actor.
He was on like Dancing with the Stars or some bullshit. He won Dancing with the Stars.
And he was on a sketch comedy troupe, and he at one point in time was on this series that aired in the Ukraine of he's a comedian actor who was portraying a comedian who inadvertently got voted as the president of the Ukraine.
Oh no.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
and then
art imitating life right there.
And then he literally got voted in as the president of Ukraine. Like, holy shit. I mean, it turns out like he is the biggest badass out there.
I mean, we have a drama teacher as a prime minister, and he's kind of a pussy. just saying.
So everything that's happening there, like, is utterly heartbreaking. But there are many different ways to support them, and it's like financially is the easiest way.
There's a lot of like innocent people dying. And you know, like we can joke about like, you know, like people like bombing the Russian APCs and whatever and shit like that. But you know, like these people are taking a huge chance and putting their lives at risk, you know, like to try and fight this massive oppressor that's coming in. It's just like, I mean, more power to them, and like I like nothing but the best for them. Like,
Yeah.
It's a scary time. It really is, because you know, like with how fucking crazy Putin is, like I'm surprised like that nuclear, like the minutes to midnight countdown hasn't been moved up. You know, just like last I checked, we're at like 78 seconds to midnight or some shit like that.
Yeah.
For people that don't know what that is, it's a nuclear doomsday clock that's run by some, like I don't even know who it's run by, but I mean there's actually like there's a song written about it. It's like the 4 minutes to midnight or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And it's an actual thing, and it's about a nuclear threat. It's like, and right now it should probably be about like fucking like 4 seconds to midnight, because like if Putin's got fucking nuclear arms, if the US or somebody else says something stupid, he's crazy enough that it would happen.
Yeah.
So
and
maybe this is our final episode.
Don't say that. To make matters worse, too, like the amount of miscommunication of the Russian army is insane. There was a couple of days ago, there was a tank battle where 9, I could be getting the numbers wrong, but 9 tanks were engaged in this back and forth battle, only to figure out that both sides were Russian. Like there are Russian troops and squadrons and whatnot going into the Ukraine and running out of fuel. They don't know what to do, where to go, how to get fuel.
So I saw a video on Instagram the other day. Oh, excuse me. It was this Ukrainian dude and his buddy driving down the road, and they came across a fucking Russian tank, and they asked him in Ukrainian. It's like, oh, what's wrong? You guys broke down? It's like, no, we're out of fuel. So, well, go fuck yourself. And they kept driving. Yeah,
I know.
Oh, and it turns out that I'm sure you're going to touch on this, but okay, so like there's a story around that there was the 13 Ukrainian soldiers on that Snake Island.
Yes.
That there was a Russian warship that was telling them that they needed to, that they were getting whatever, something was happening there. And their response was like, Russian warship, go fuck yourself. It's like, so it turns out like the initial reports is that all of those guys were dead, but I guess they're all like prisoners of war now. But I mean, the balls on you to be able to tell like a warship, like I mean, what at that point, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Right.
You're on an island, like surrender.
I've seen pictures on Reddit where like people have had that fucking exact exchange in Russian or Cyrillic or whatever, like tattooed like on their fucking forearms and shit, and it's spray painted all over the place. Like it's
insane.
I don't get what the Russians are trying to do with this. Like, I mean, like
It was any excuse possible for Putin to get his toys back. He wants to have the USSR, and it's not going to happen. And he's being utterly embarrassed by this, because he has sent his army, his troops into Ukraine with so little and the wrong information.
It's okay. The information, yes, I'll give you, but like apparently when they left, they were fully stocked with like ammo and fuel and everything, but every Russian will take whatever they can and sell it.
Oh yeah.
to go buy vodka and cigarettes
or food or clothing
or
or
whatever. Yeah,
something.
like Adidas track pants. But I mean,
But
like,
the army is going into the Ukraine and then like being captured or overrun or whatever by the Ukrainian people, and then the Ukrainian people telling them like, you've been lied to, like whatever reason you were told to come in here is not the truth. You are the aggressors. You're not saving us, which is
Yeah.
what Putin is trying to tell you
Yeah.
you're doing.
That
You're
propaganda,
actually trying
yeah.
to take us over. Yeah.
What about, like, did you read about like the the people that are like, or is it, I think it's the Ukrainian government. It's like they're sending messages to Russia, not through obvious means, but they're like, here are your sons, come get them, to like Russian mothers. Like, could you imagine?
No shit.
Like, your fucking, like, your mother has to come get you, not your father or anything. It's like, no, they wouldn't accept anybody but your mother coming to get you. I know you didn't have the greatest relationship.
No.
But you know what I mean,
Nothing,
right?
but
Like,
it's
like, fuck, man. Like,
but also and like take into consideration too, like the upbringing and the lifestyle of the Russian people. Like,
yeah,
the mothers are the ones who stay at home. Like, yes, they are a point of authority within the household, but
they
still
are
they're the
they are
ones
the
who,
point of authority, really.
yes, exactly. So yeah, to get to set that up and like, hey, mom, come get your son. That's like, that's salt in the wound. Like,
Well,
at this point in time, I like last checked, 90% of the forces that were sent along the border to do this have been sent in, and they've barely made any ground.
because they don't care.
No, because when they get there and they're actually listen to what's going on and witness what's going on, they're like, why are we here?
Yeah.
It's insane, and it's
just
saddening.
like, I couldn't imagine. I mean,
Nope.
like, there's a ton of innocent people dying for fucking Putin's fucking ego.
Yeah.
But
I'm not counting out dementia with that crazy motherfucker. I'm not.
no, and you're fair to not. You know, like, it
Yeah.
just, yeah. I don't know, man.
Hmm?
It's like, the thing about this that I'm worried about, you know, like, is the fact that they have nuclear arms. That's it. But I guess if they ever let them loose, it would just be like, well, you know, I had a good run. Like I said,
I am optimistically hopeful that it's not going to get to that point. I think it's a lot of pomp and circumstance. I think it's a lot of fluff. I think there's enough, like, so there's this theory that Putin was waiting for the best time to pull this off, and I saw this report that the Freedom Convoy that was happening in Canada, organized by Pat King, was heavily cycled and heavily reported on by Russian government media leading up to this invasion of the Ukraine. And someone, beat around the bush a bit, but pointed out the fact, like, do you think maybe Putin was waiting for the best distraction possible to move forward with this?
It's funny you bring that up, though, because like there's a new freedom rally that was started in the States, but I haven't heard anything about it since this war started. There was some California to DC thing, and I was watching it live on Twitch one night. Not because I supported it. It just like, because I was curious to see what these people were doing, and they ended up. Well, I quit watching it about 5 minutes in, but like I haven't heard anything since. Not since this war broke out. It's like all of these people, I think they kind of just went home. It's like, well, like none of this shit at home matters anymore. I mean, I would hope that these fucking people realize that.
Well, it's kind of like all these restrictions. Okay, so we're talking about Canada now. All these restrictions and whatnot, and the mask mandates, like they're being lifted, and everyone is pretty much to the point where it's just like we've done all we could. Those who want to get protected got protected. And there was a demonstration at one of the large intersections here in Prince George, and no one paid them any mind. Like they were saying their piece, and they were out there, and they had the signs, and that was fine. But yeah, ever since this war broke out between Russia and Ukraine, like
nobody cares.
No, well, like my social media feed has died down, and like I actively went searching for it today, like because I know, like, this group is on Facebook, and this Twitter feed is blah 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 blah. Like I actively went searching for it, and like there was no recent posts. There was no, like, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't care to read too much into it at all. It could be a combination of, like, a juggling of what is actually important. It could also be the fact that restrictions are lifting. So, like, it's interesting. I think, I say, and it's my opinion, I think we were too comfortable. And that comfort was upset by the pandemic. And then when things started to open up, then that comfort was taken away again because of Omicron. And then, people started to understandably get agitated and want their comfort back. And now, with things being lifted and Canada essentially opening up again, it kind of like, oh, well, like, look at what's going on over there.
It's kind of like a veil got lifted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't want to side on some of the same topics as some of those, like, far right wing people, but I mean, some of the shit that it's like, yeah, like, maybe this fucking whole fucking COVID thing was a cover for something, like, with the way that the media is portraying it. I mean, I don't know. Again, this is late night fucking Lost Signals, so Daryl's drunk. So,
here's my thoughts.
Okay, time out. But before we get too far, it's like, I still believe that the COVID-19 was a deadly virus. I don't believe that it is anymore. For some people it is, yes, but it's not nearly as bad as it had been. So,
on the surface, I'm agreeing with you, and that's all I care to go to.
Yeah.
So when it comes to media, and this is me talking as a radio personality, a professional broadcaster who does not dabble in politics. I make a note to not dabble in politics.
Yeah.
If there's a conversation that comes up at the dinner table or whatever, I just choose not to, because I firmly believe that politics is like religion, like sexuality. There's a time and a place, and there's a group of people. It is not something that you just openly blah, 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 blah about. And that is my thoughts. But having said that, as a media personality and a professional broadcaster, I do recognize that there are tactics within media that people, stations, companies use to get ratings because ratings get advertisers, and advertisers pay. Yeah. I'm not saying it's always like that. And I'm saying I recognize, and I hope other people recognize, there is a vast difference between Canadian and American. The American news and American reporting is horrific to me. I will take a Canadian news feed over an American news feed any day.
I would too.
Yes.
But I mean, there still is that
Sensationalism.
yes, that's again.
Yes.
I've had some beers, so
Yes.
um,
And and I fully acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Which again is the reason why I do not report on news. I will talk current events. I will interview people of interest.
Yeah.
I will be there to listen to them and help them tell their story. And it's also the reason why I take it personally when people say mainstream media is poison, mainstream media is fake, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm mainstream media. And the blanket statement is akin to saying that all dogs are blah, 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 that all men are blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
The only thing that you can blanket statement say about all dogs is all dogs are dogs.
Yeah. No,
All men are men. It's like,
I agree with you 100%. Like the people that is like, oh, you got to defund the mainstream media and bullshit. It's like, fine. You're in a way, you're probably right. You need to get rid of the media conglomerates.
yes.
Like the same four people that own every fucking news outlet in the world. Like because you're only gonna get one view on all of this shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And me working for one of them, I agree.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, like anyone who's watching this or listening to this or what have you, keep in mind there is a vast difference between the newsroom and where you'll find me. And where you'll find me is behind a microphone at a radio station, being as entertaining as fucking possible.
Reading a piece of paper.
Not even. I don't even report the fucking news.
Yeah. You're better off, man, because then at least you can claim like plausible deniability.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah. Anyway, like I agree 100%. It is a business. It is absolutely a business. Trick Turbo, I missed unbiased news from the big guys. I love you guys. Trick, I couldn't agree more. And like I said, and I don't know how long you've been listening, but like I am at times sickened by how things are reported, but I recognize that is not a department that I'm in.
Yeah.
Nor is it a department that I'll ever be in. And also I recognize what they're doing, why they're doing it. Don't agree with it, but again, it's not my department. It's not something I care to be in, period. Right.
Yeah.
Which is why you will never see me in front of a TV camera with a microphone in hand reporting on blah, blah, blah news. You might see me sometime in the future doing a fluff piece. Like I will go and report the hell out of a dog show.
I was just thinking about that scene in Anchorman where Seth Rogen is filming Christina Applegate at the cat show. I just watched it the other day, so I know it's exactly what happened.
Seth Rogen did that?
Yeah. Seth Rogen was behind the camera. Like that was like one of his first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Miss Corningstone, this is the greatest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So anyway, there's a story of me working for a much bigger radio station.
Yeah.
That was, or I should say, that is a news radio station. And I was an associate producer, and I only lasted a week. And I mean, as in, I got to the Friday of that week and went, I'm out, because how they went about things and how they were teaching me how to interview people and get the story and construct and blah, 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 blah. I was like, I feel dirty. So like you will never find me working for that company ever again. And that is my choice. So anyway,
that's fine.
Wow, geez, we're 50 minutes into this and we haven't even gotten past.
I know. I was just looking at that
segment
time
3.
too. We got a full segment yet. Do we go into the next segment, or do we just call this episode as it is?
No, I want to tell my story.
Okay, no, let's.
Sure.
This is what we'll do.
What?
We're gonna call this episode now.
All right.
But then we're gonna keep going. So I'm gonna stop the stream.
Fine.
I'm gonna take care of some business, and then we'll restart, and then we'll call it like episode 34.5.
Fine.
Okay.
In my old radio show days, we used to call it overtime, but sure.
Yeah. Well, whatever. We'll call it overtime. Okay. So this right here, what you guys have just listened to, is episode 34, and then there's going to be an extra segment after this. So
yes.
My name is Daryl.
I'm JD.
This has been episode 34, and we will see you again very, very shortly, apparently.